Welcome to Telling Our Stories. My name is Josh Johnson with Regency on the Lake. I relocated to Davidson, North Carolina, the Lake Norman area, in October of 2024. We started telling our stories so you, our viewers and listeners, can connect with our clients in the communities that we are a part of, from Western North Carolina to the Charlotte area. Welcome to the show, and we hope you enjoy this episode. Welcome to this episode of Telling Our Stories. My name is Josh Johnson with Regency on the Lake. I have some favorite guests of mine today. I've got my beautiful bride with me, Kristy. Love getting to have her on here with me today. And I also have two of my close friends, Joshua Dobstaff and Lisa Dobstaff. And these folks, they were clients of mine at the beginning. Now they are lifelong friends. And they are absolutely amazing. I mean, if Kristy and I were to pass away, heaven forbid, Josh and Lisa would get our children. So that kind of gives you our nutshell in history in a nutshell. I mean, if you trust your kids with somebody, you trust them to the end of the world and back. And we actually met. I was showing you all properties. Josh, you took a job up in the high country at Ash Memorial Hospital.
That's right. Yeah.
And I was introduced to you, gave you guys a community tour. Yep. We found out the parameters of where you could live and couldn't live. And, we started in Blowing Rock.
That's right. That's right.
Looking at homes. And I knew personally that we were going to be friends at the first house we looked at, because there were three little birds, I think, hanging in a kitchen window. And Lisa, you and I kind of connected on that a little bit.
Yep.
And then y'all had the boys with you.
Yeah.
But
our three birds.
Yeah. Yep. And you call them turkeys all the time.
I do. They are turkeys.
But so we're just going to talk today. I mean, that's how we met, and the evolution of our relationship. And, I always open these podcasts up just, I want to give people like a snapshot into my world, Regency on the Lake's world, like the folks we meet, why relationships are important, community's important. And I always say, my priorities in life are God, family, and then work. And as long as I keep my priorities kind of in line, everything seems to work out well. But yeah, you guys are part of our family, and we're having a little couch sit down, living room chat today. And so Josh, tell us about yourself a little bit.
Okay.
And then we'll just kind of share and see where everything goes. As always, these are always unscripted.
Yeah. So, I like that, actually. That's not bad for me. So, quick background. I'm from New York, believe it or not. I, live in the South, fell in love with the South and the people in the South and everything as well. So I'm like pretty much a lifelong Southerner, I think, at this point. Came down here after medical school. We weren't really sure what we were going to do once I graduated. We settled in Wilmington, North Carolina, and really for residency, which is that few years after graduating medical school. And then, really with Lisa being from Atlanta, the idea was like, do we stay? Was this a few years, sort of a pit stop, go back to Atlanta where her family is, or do we, what's going to happen? We weren't really sure, but that was kind of the idea. But fell in love with the Wilmington area, fell in love with North Carolina in general. And then it started taking me all over the place until we met you guys, after being up at Ash for, I guess I was there a few years before we met, just working in the hospital there and everything. But we fell in love with that area so much, it was like, okay, we should try and get something here. And rest is history in terms of our connection and everything. So we've been all over the place. Med school was in Grenada, which is in the Caribbean. So we did that. We were up in Jersey finishing up medical school. We were down in, coastal North Carolina and the mountains. So we've kind of seen it all and, really sort of settled down in Carolina in general. Just love the area here and everything. So that's it.
I hear you.
That's part of it.
Lisa.
It's part of the story.
Kristy.
Yes.
I know you girls are sweet and quiet, but talk to us a little bit and tell us your story and a little bit about yourselves.
Well, Josh kind of I can't talk
what he
about
said.
It. What he said, ditto. From Atlanta, Josh and I met there while he was applying for med school. and he was a bartender and a manager of a restaurant. And he just kept feeding me, and so I kept coming back, and then we fell in love. And then, he's like, come with me to med school, and I was like, why not? So came with him to Grenada, and that was a fun adventure. Jersey was not such a fun adventure. Don't
That was
recommend.
different. Yeah.
That was more of a culture shock than Grenada. And then, we've just bounced around and, landed in Wilmington and had our 3 boys there, and that became home. Like, I think once you have kiddos, that establishes your roots. And you find your community and your people and that kind of stuff. So once we, started having kids there, it definitely became home. And life revolves around my 4 boys, my 3 children, and then my bonus boy.
Yeah.
And homeschooled them for 4 years. That was something that Kristy and I, we collaborated on. Like we could definitely relate to each other as far as that goes, because she was homeschooling as well. And that was, another thing, like I felt like our lives were intertwined from the beginning. Like we had a lot of commonalities, a lot of different, different perspectives, but it was like an instant gel. The boys could hang out and all, get along. We'd come over to your house and they would just disappear and run amok. And it was amazing. I mean, that was like their favorite thing to do. It wasn't when we did get our house, it wasn't like, we're going to the mountains. It was like, when are we going to see the JJs?
Yeah.
And then it was like, why do we even have a house? We should have just put up a tent in your backyard.
Yeah.
Let them go to town. But that was so awesome. I think that's been such a huge blessing to have, that relationship form from something that started off as business and ended up being like a life-changing friendship.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Friends for life.
definitely.
Yeah.
Kristy is the quietest. I'm gonna tickle her here.
I know, I was taking notes.
But it's been honestly, like Josh and I, we played golf a couple times, in the hospital tournament, which I still sponsor. My company still sponsors. Actually, have that coming up here at the end of the month, and it's so cool. And you guys are not rare. I hate to say, but so many of our clients, you're rare in that you get our children, which is like a whole different ball game,
I'll take it.
Yeah. It's a little notch up. I shouldn't say that, but what I'm getting at is our clients so many times become friends. And Josh, you kind of touched on Carolina as a whole. I mean, I say this in almost every episode. I mean, from the mountains to the coast, right here in the plains, Piedmont area, this state has been discovered. And Lisa, you hit on the other part of it without even knowing you did. I mean, but your kids and everything are kind of what make a house a home.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's kind of what we shared off the get-go, too. Other than Josh and I both are pretty motivated guys. Josh, you've got your own practice now. And, we actually talked about kind of going into business together on that a time or two in different locations, and we'll talk about your practice a little bit too. But the kids and the family, and then you guys, Lisa, you said there are some differences, but like I feel like they've definitely been complementary to both of us.
Yes.
And I can tell you my life would be drastically different if we wouldn't have met, probably. Right. So cool. Chris, what do you think? I mean, I know you and Lisa kind of hit it off on the homeschooling stuff because Lisa was like, I got to talk to your wife. But
we're full of boys.
That's right.
Yes.
3 boys, 2 boys. So
we're the queens of the house.
That's right. That's exactly right.
And we got 14 and 18, and yours are
15, 13, and 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Charlie was how old when we met?
I want to say he was 4.
That's what I was going to say. He was like 4.
He was little.
What year did we meet, actually? Was it 20?
It was 19.
No,
it was 19. No, it was 20. It was February of 20. I'll never forget going down Hawks. And I had that tubing experience where I spun out. And you were talking about your tubing experience, and I was like, I was busy for like 3 days.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. That was Valentine's Day.
It was.
And the next day is when we met you.
Yeah.
And we started touring around.
We met in Blowing Rock, had lunch. I can't remember. Knott's on Main, I think is where we ate.
Yep.
And I don't know why. I ate small that day. But we looked at a couple homes there in downtown Blowing Rock, and we kind of got... we did get a house under contract there, but we bailed on that one.
Right.
That's
Oh,
the
yeah.
you gonna die house.
Yeah, that
Don't die.
I kind
Still
of
say
talked
that.
you out of that one. Yeah, but
We use "you gonna die" to this day.
you're
I know.
gonna
That's a
die.
quote that
You're gonna die.
Clearly, that warrants some context. But basically,
That's true.
we
We do
were
need to explain that.
we were looking at this house. It had a great little mountain view and everything. But it
Beautiful.
was, I mean, how many levels of decks was it? I think there was at least 2, but the upper one, it must have been 30 foot or more drop. You think more? I don't
Oh, it
know.
was
it's
way
huge.
more.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it was
Huge drop.
100 foot from
Yeah.
the top deck.
You think so? Oh, my God.
Easy.
Holy
I would
cow.
Easy.
agree because it was kind of on that cliff.
And the deck was kind of shaky. The boys were younger and they were running around, and you could just feel it shaking around. And then
You
Henry-
would go out
I
on it.
wouldn't. I was like, no. I was like, y'all need to
nope.
come in. I'm like, you're gonna die.
Well,
Henry
Henry,
asked the question. He was like, "Hey, Mama, what do you think would happen if somebody jumped off this?"
Yeah.
deck?" Like,
and JJ
That
goes,
dude's like,
"You're
"You
gonna
gonna
die." We're like, "Whoa."
yeah.
So they're like, "Come back inside."
That wasn't the only reason we bailed on that house, but I mean,
Correct.
It was,
Yeah.
one of many interesting.
And you
features
guys
of that place.
actually ended up there in West Jefferson.
which was
Yeah.
a way better.
It
option.
was.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
so much nicer. Got more house and
Newer
more
house.
amazing view. We were closer to you all. I mean, if we were in Blowing Rock, I mean that would have been
It's
a lot
35,
more
40
hard.
minute drive.
So
Yep,
yeah,
that wouldn't
no,
have worked
that
for
worked out.
invasions.
And it worked during COVID. I mean, I was thinking back the other day. I mean, during COVID, you were at the hospital a ton.
Yeah, right.
And obviously, it was mask up, hibernate, keep the doors shut, all that
sorts of-
junk.
yeah, that
And I
was
mean,
tough.
it seems like I got you groceries there at the house once.
Yeah, I remember.
Aw.
Back
you
when
got sick.
You got it.
Yeah.
I caught the first time I got COVID was I think right before Thanksgiving that
was.
year,
Yep.
and you still had to do like that 2-week quarantine. So I stayed at the house for 2 weeks by myself, and then you all, did the Thanksgiving travel stuff. So I remember you bringing me some food, and
Yeah.
Dr. Jones bringing me some food.
Yep.
And like everybody kind of just brought me some Thanksgiving stuff, and
Oh, yeah.
kind of like dropped it on the front
Yeah.
porch
Yeah.
and ran away.
Hi.
Stay away.
But it was awesome. I mean, and that's kind of that's what I remember about that community. I still miss that the mountains and the area, the hospital, everybody up
The
there
people.
to this day. It was
Yeah.
just such a cool spot. And
Yeah.
I'll be honest. Some days I wish I never left. Most of the time, it was a nice chapter. It would have been hard to continue the way things were up there. COVID was hard for sure. Kind of stimulated a different direction for my career, and then kind of brought us kind of to think a little bit more about what we wanted to do, where we wanted to be, how much we could be together. Because obviously, being in the mountains, you couldn't do that, and that's when it sort of segued into leaving the area, but still think about it all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Still miss it.
And I mean, that whole COVID thing was crazy, but
It was.
I'm just thinking back. I mean, we made some runs to the hospital to you too. Got some Kobo sushi.
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh,
the
yeah.
thing that folks, our listeners here in this area, like in the Charlotte market or even Wilmington, the mountains of North Carolina, you don't have grocery delivery. You don't have Uber.
True.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah,
have,
that's right.
You can't.
it's not, it's not, you do not have those conveniences, which I know Kristy, she's like, forget going to the grocery store. Pop it in on the phone,
Like,
pop it
this
in on
is
the
amazing.
iPad. But
buy
the high
unnecessary
country,
things.
especially
Exactly.
winter months, it's a no-go.
Uh-huh.
I mean, but
Yeah, we couldn't even have a mailbox at the house that we had, right?
Yeah,
So it had to be at the bottom. And I didn't realize that. I put a mailbox out front, and they're like, you can't do that.
Yeah.
No mail trucks coming up here.
yeah. But,
That's pointless. That's decoration now.
Yeah.
and that is how it's funny because the community up there is more, what's the word I'm looking, like for land-wise, it's larger. Like it takes in a larger area than it does, like, say, in a Davidson or Cornelius or South Park area here in Charlotte, where it's like condensed, I want to say, or on a smaller pad of the earth.
Right.
But it's the same sense of community, but you're just and the funny thing too, the difference in here and at home, you can go 15 miles in the same amount of time as it takes you to go 3 or 4 miles here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
And, you kind of have, because the traffic's different, not as many red lights, all those things. But so our listeners that are watching this episode, that's kind of why we didn't have those conveniences there, especially during COVID.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a totally different world. I mean, it was for everybody, but there it was even a little, I don't know, did Uber and stuff even run That's a good question.
I don't know.
I mean, did it in Wilmington?
I wasn't using it, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know
they
if it
shut
did.
for a while. They shut down non-essential things.
everything.
So it might have been something where they had to pause, and everybody. I mean, everything.
The whole
changed,
world
right?
did.
I mean, like
Yeah.
everybody's policies changed as a business.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you had to just sort of rethink everything. And I'm in healthcare, so obviously, like that was a massive, earthquake that kind of shook us all and really impacted the mountains for sure because of just. It was a small community hospital that had to sort of force itself to turn into a larger, ICU full of very sick COVID patients where, kind of pushed our limits a little bit and what we could take and handle and everything like that. Because
Correct.
there was just nowhere to send anyone. So it was a very interesting, challenging experience. But again, I mean, and obviously we lost a lot of really good community people up there. I mean, I can think of a few off the top of my head that were just, it really hits home.
Yeah.
And you could tell how important they were in that area. But that's just, I mean, that's everywhere that, COVID impacted and everything. So it was, it made it harder, but, it made everybody a lot, in some ways, maybe closer, I hope. I mean, obviously it's a controversial topic depending on what viewpoint you come at it with. But the bottom line, it was there. We had to deal with it. And, hopefully it's, it really shifted how I approached medicine in general. It actually really changed how I viewed my whole career because of, it changed for people being a little bit more mindful about how they treated themselves, what they put in their body, and those kind of things. And I think education is really important, depending on where people get their information and hence their viewpoints. Sometimes it still requires a little bit of redirection, but at the same time, COVID in general, I think will be, if I can create a silver lining from it, would hopefully be a net positive that, really makes people a little bit more understanding about how they treat themselves, so that's kind of how I sort of shaped the vision of the practice I created too. So hopefully
kind of forced growth.
Yeah, very forced. Yeah, it was very hard.
And the name of your practice is Progress Medical.
Progress Medical.
All right. Well, since you touched on it, tell us about it and tell us what you're doing now.
I didn't mean to sort of
plug
that, but I mean it's so that's kind of what happened. So I was in hospitals, ever since I got out of residency, and I was working in Wilmington, and actually got connected with a old medical school friend who was also a hospitalist up at Ash Memorial. And so and he kind of called, actually his wife called you.
We stayed connected, the
and
wife and I.
they stayed connected, and then it was just like reached out to you randomly, right?
Yeah, she's like, this is going to sound so random. I have this unusual opportunity that Josh might be interested in. And I was like, actually, that does sound intriguing.
It wasn't random at all, because I was kind of getting to a point of maybe looking for a change. I was like, holy cow, just like
out of the sky.
Fell in our laps. And so went up, checked it out. I mean, pretty much instantly fell in love with the place and ended up working there and everything. But like I said, COVID, just pushing forward, COVID changed a lot of it, for me, in terms of not only what I prioritize in terms of my time and, but also like my career and my career path. And so it was getting to a point where as the boys got older and, being in Ash, it was, you're there for a week at a time and then I would drive home. And so that week at home presented a lot of challenges. And for the most part, early on, we tackled that just fine, or you did. But, at the same time, we knew as they were getting older, it was going to be harder to
I needed
continue.
backup.
Yeah, right. So
Boys.
we can attest to that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and at the same time, I'm again going through this shift in my mindset about, where do I want things to go? Just as when I found Ash, it seemed like I was kind of nudging towards something else. And I work in a lot of different areas of the state. I'm a medical director of a couple different clinics, everything from an urgent care to another wellness clinic that focuses on, weight loss and hormone optimization and other wellness services. And that's really what started, kind of opening my eyes a little bit about certain things we can do. So I got more educated on like hormone optimization, for example, which is just a fascinating topic, something that's really going to be starting to emerge more and more. I would say within the next 5 to 10 years, you're going to see more and more and more research showing all of the benefits of hormone optimization and what it can do for men and women, especially menopausal women, but not, but men, everyone, literally everyone. So got into that. Medical weight loss is a hot topic. Semaglutide, for example, and not only for weight loss, but a variety of other things that I think are going to, again, come down the pike about what benefits it has.
Correct.
And then so it's like, okay, what else is there? What other wellness things? Maybe we could focus on a practice that actually keeps people, targets
healthy.
people that want to stay healthy rather than treat a disease, after it's already come about, which is
More
10 times
preventative
harder.
care.
And, again, people are shifting. People have different viewpoints about pharmaceutical companies in general and what they're designed for and everything. But my thought is that, it doesn't have to be a pill for anything. Traditional medicine has its value, but we're shifting a little bit more towards, there's a concept called functional medicine, which, kind of dives a little bit further into root cause type things. Because we can tackle that and start there and sort of almost rebuild your foundation. It's completely preventative for disease and leads to better longevity. So not necessarily how long you live, but how well you live as you go along. So that's kind of the idea. And so we find different services that really target that approach to medicine and really see where it goes. So I kind of went into it, to be honest, a little blindly, from a business perspective, but definitely steep learning curve in that regard. Still learning every day. So I can't say it's been easy. There's definitely been a lot of growth, personally and professionally, for sure. But that's the idea. That's the way I see it going. I kind of have this viewpoint or this goal where I want people to feel like the best version of themselves.
Correct.
And if it pushes them towards that, then it's a win. And so, that's kind of the general idea of Progress Medical.
I hear you. Well, you answered one of the questions I was going to ask, which I always get around to because we talk about it, on several of the episodes. Like, why do you do what you do? What makes you do what you do? Yeah. You gave that answer fully. Yeah. And your practice is amazing. Obviously, I consider you my primary care doctor.
For the whole family.
Yeah, for the whole family, really. So, and it's awesome to have you on speed dial.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But
Quick text.
With that being said, Lisa and Kristy, I'm going to ask, why do you guys enjoy what you do? I know that you both are teachers at heart, mamas at heart. Tell us what you love about all that, why you chose to do that. And then secondly, I know, Chris, you already have your real estate license, and Lisa, you have some news concerning that. So whichever one wants to go first.
I'll let
Oh,
you
you
go.
go ahead.
You go on. I'll follow up.
I'll follow.
Oh gosh, my passion for kids started pretty early on. I bounced around in high school, going from different jobs and that kind of thing. And once I found childcare, it was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. What other job can you walk in the door, after you clock in, and you have people running to you to love on you and hug you and that kind of thing. And so I was like, this is what I want to do every single day. And it was just from that point, the next thing was like, I cannot wait to be a mama. And so I nannied for a while after childcare and that kind of thing. And then we had our kiddos, and my life has just always kind of revolved around kids. And that's just, I don't know. I definitely have a heart for children. But mine are growing up. And despite what I tried to put bricks on their heads, that doesn't work. They're all growing like weeds. So it's on to the next passion and adventure, which is also ironically always been kind of real estate. And I don't have a clue why, but I always look at houses. I'm always on like realtor.com and looking at what's around and kind of seeing like the area and the schools and what you would do with the house. And I don't know why, that's just always been something that's been in the back of my head. So, and ironically, some of our closest friends are realtors. My brother, some friends in Wilmington, obviously y'all.
And Virginia.
And Virginia,
Yeah.
yes, our
Yep.
our other family member. I mean, like it's all around me, and so it's like maybe that's something I could try. So I'm totally nervous to go back to school because that's been 25 years.
Yeah.
So that's like the thing that's kind of been my holdup is I'm not pulling the trigger on that is going back to school. But once I get in the door, I think it'll be so much fun, and get to meet new people and help them find their dream home or wherever that takes me. I'm totally willing to explore all avenues of real estate. But yeah, that's the next adventure.
Oh yeah.
She's got a knack for it. You can
Oh,
tell.
yeah.
Like
Oh,
our
yeah.
current
She
house
would
that
be
we're in,
just
well,
fine.
and then the mountain house. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
she was just looking and found that one. She found the house that we have been in. That's been our home for 11, 12 years, something like that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so, they've both been good deals, we feel like, especially the one we're in now. And so it sort of seems like there's a little knack for it to find it or
I think it's just being
persistence.
on there
Yeah, I mean,
all the
you're-
time.
But I mean,
I
you
literally
can
look at it all
tell-
the time.
Yeah, you can tell it's a passion. So I'm
Yeah.
excited.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
kind of hoping, just to see her go through it. There's
And
that.
you can retire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
I always say, when I'm a real estate mogul, you can retire.
I'll be fine with that.
Yeah.
Maybe. Actually, I don't know.
Switch places.
I don't know.
Yeah. You wouldn't be able
I
to.
say that, and then I'm like, I don't know. I get bored, or you'd get sick of me.
Yeah.
I'd go back to work. But I think you'll do good, and I think that there's been a little bit of failure to launch, for a little while, but mostly you wanted to wait till the boys were ready. Like we're kind of
Settled.
set. Like
Yeah.
that was, like you said, it's always been the priority, and I think that's amazing. You're the best mom, best
That's
moms.
how, yeah.
And
Yeah.
That's
but
how I feel.
I think
Yeah.
real estate's a
That's
good.
priority number
Priority
one.
number one is
Yeah.
the children.
Setting them up
Absolutely.
to
Yep.
succeed and
That's
to
exactly
thrive
right.
in life. That's it.
So Chris,
Oh yeah, I
All
wanted
right.
to be the Walton family. So,
Yeah.
but we only ended up having two. So I have loved children from the get go, and I do have my real estate license, and it's just I just like working with children. That's just where we've got one that's graduated and one in school right now. So, and I'm teaching. So yeah.
yeah, and you're at CSD,
Yeah.
Community School of
Community
Davidson. Yep,
So,
first grade, and Caleb
kindergarten
is,
actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Caleb's across the street.
Yeah.
They're at Davidson
Pretty
Day.
sweet setup.
Yeah. So y'all still are like connected because I remember Kristy coming to me when Grayson, our oldest, he went to North Carolina School of Science and Math, which is a boarding school. So he left, and us men, I'll speak for us men, we see these like shifts in the family and in the house, I think sometimes a little bit easier maybe or clearer than women.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm speaking for my house, but I'll speak for my house.
Yeah.
And we look at it from more of not as an emotional, thing, more of just like, okay, this is life. We've got some change happening here. But I remember Kristy coming to me and she's like, what am I going to do? I mean, one's gone. Caleb's getting ready to be like 8th grade. That means we've got 4 more years with him. And I'm like, honey, what do you want to do?
still
Like
don't know.
what makes you happy?
What are we going to do when we grow
That's what
up?
I'm trying to figure out still.
Yeah.
So,
But
yeah.
she said, well, I love kids. I'm like, well, you can teach. You've got that. I mean, do you want to do that? And she's like, I've loved teaching mine.
Right.
Yeah,
so
hard to let
it's
go.
kind of been, yeah.
It's a weird phase
Yeah.
of life, like that's your whole wide world, and then it starts to kind of drift away.
Yeah, mine
Oh, yeah.
wanted
It's like,
to go to school. Yeah,
Yeah.
They were ready to switch
Ooh.
from the transition from homeschool.
Oh yeah.
Ours were not ready last year. They were
Yeah,
like,
they
I mean,
fought it.
for like
Yeah.
the first half of the year, especially like James and Charlie, they were like, we just want to be homeschooled, whatever.
Yeah.
And then this year they're like, we never want to do that again.
Yeah.
Like
They're
thriving, which
Yeah.
is
They
what
would-
you wanted.
Oh, yeah.
There was a
would
little
knock
part
it
of me
off.
that's like, does anybody want to be homeschooled?
Yeah, I know. Caleb paced our bedroom floor, and he's like, "Low key, Mom, you can homeschool me next year if you want to."
Mm.
And I was
Aww.
no.
And you're like, and no.
Yeah.
I like
retired as a
littles.
homeschool teacher.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting. I mean, y'all, for me, it's goes back to relationship. And I mean, Josh, you even said with COVID, it kind of transitioned the way you thought about what you were doing for a number of reasons. I mean, not only were you traveling a lot with the job as a hospitalist and, gone a week, on a week, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, whatever it may be. Because during COVID, I know there was a couple times it was longer.
Oh yeah, we would go
Yeah.
longer shifts and
Yeah.
have less time off, and
Yeah.
people came and went. So
Oh yeah. And I
stressed
mean,
then.
I know Lisa, I remember her calling a couple of times. She's like, will you please just take care of my husband for me? She's like, he needs
Check on
food. He
him.
needs this.
He
Check on
needs
him.
food. If I'm not there to feed him, it's just
That's
like the
right.
children.
Yeah.
Like, somebody's got to.
Yeah, somebody help.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I know
Yeah.
Josh,
He did.
he
He
still
brought it all
loves
the time.
pretzels. Yeah.
Still love my pretzels. Yeah.
Yeah.
Still his
But,
weakness.
all that's family and relationship. I mean, because
Yeah.
you're like, how do I keep people healthy to begin with?
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And for you ladies, I mean, you're like, let's take this little turkey,
Mhm. That's a little
male
bit-
or female, and help them become great human beings.
Mhm.
And, I think that's so key. And then I deal with families like you guys looking for homes. And then I deal with folks that are losing their children, kind of like we're both getting ready to be in that phase.
Oh, Lord.
And, then it's just life, but you make all these relationships and you try and meet a need. And I always find out it's not really about like what people think the need is initially. Like, oh, we need to downsize because the kids are gone and this and that.
Mhm.
And yes, that's true. But then you start looking at the properties that are smaller, and then it becomes about, well, how do we make this home? Is this what we want moving forward? Like, are we going to be happy here, whether it be in the mountains or in the city or on the lake? I mean, is this how we want to spend the next 10, 15, 20 years or, whatever it may be? So, I mean, it's always you develop these ties with folks and find out what's really important to them.
That's
And,
true. I never thought about it that way.
Yeah. And you, Lisa, you asked me, you're like, am I going to be all right in real estate? I'm like, Lord, yeah.
Aw.
I'm like, be yourself and just go get it.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
and you'll
Find
be,
out.
yeah, you're going to be great. And hopefully, when we open that office at the coast,
Oh, that would be so
that's
cool.
what
That's the dream.
Yeah,
honestly.
that's what I'm looking forward to. So,
Well,
Maybe
it was.
I'll sell real estate and come to the coast.
I know.
Yeah.
Do it. Yes, I
I
love
like the
this.
coast. Yeah.
I love this idea. Well, it was so funny when you mentioned that. I was like, that was literally in my mind. Like, maybe someday I can ask JJ, because you're still JJ does, but like,
Yeah.
maybe someday I can ask him if he would want to open an office here and that kind of thing. Because I'd love to, like, come under your wing and learn from you and,
Oh, yeah.
and all that. So.
Well, I mean, I've told you, I don't know if you were thinking about it before, but I know I mentioned it to Kristy if I didn't mention it to you personally. But I was like, Lisa would be great at this.
You've
But,
told me.
yeah.
And it was always in the back of my head, like, I
Yeah.
want to do it, but,
That's when
now
the
it's
He's like, if I
boys
can
are.
get them up here full time, I
Oh,
can get
yeah.
hurt selling real estate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
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 This would be such an amazing, like, this area is absolutely amazing.
Oh, yeah.
We're driving around, like,
I know,
this
we're
has
always
so
kinda-
much to offer.
Always blown away every time we come to this area.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah,
so-
there's a lot to I feel like it kind of speaks to so many different, diversities. Like there's something for everybody here,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is
Right.
nice,
And I
So.
actually did a podcast the other day with Justin Dion at the Kane Center. And he says, sometimes people like talk about Charlotte and they say, well, Charlotte really doesn't have an identity. And he's like, they look at that as a negative. Well, first of all, I think Charlotte does have an identity kind of, but he's like, if that is a true statement, then you're in the most like awesome position to
Yeah,
be in because
that's a
you
good
can
thing.
create it.
Mm-hmm.
And, obviously Justin being involved with the Kane Center, which is Performing Arts Center,
Mm-hmm.
he loves that stuff. I mean, well, let's make it what we want to make it.
Right.
What do we want this town to be?
Right.
Yeah.
And, all the suburbs surrounding it, have their own each little feel. I
Oh,
mean, you
for
guys
sure.
have been to Davidson now.
Yeah.
And this is your first time visiting us here in our
Here.
new home.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you guys went last night to the soccer,
Charlotte FC.
Charlotte
FC.
FC game.
Yeah.
And
Big fans.
boys
absolutely.
went crazy.
Oh my
Yeah.
word.
And
it
I
was.
mean, so I mean, Charlotte, I think as a whole has so many draws, and I think
Oh,
it
yeah.
does have an identity.
Well, it's kind of a little bit of a melting pot for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
you got people from all
But that's
over.
what makes it cool.
I'm my dad grew up in Chicago, so I've been Chicago sports fan all my life. I
Mhm.
mean, I definitely like, Charlotte, Carolina teams, Panthers, all that. But
Mhm.
like the Bears, for example.
Oh,
always
yeah.
been a thing. Anytime the Bears play the Panthers, I try to come. And I notice almost as many Bears fans in the stadium as I do Panthers fans sometimes.
Oh,
And so
yeah.
it sort of speaks to like, everybody's coming from, all parts of the country, it seems.
Oh,
And
yeah.
So I agree with you. I think it's not. I think it does have an identity. I would agree with you there, and I
Yeah.
think that's also a very positive thing.
Oh, yeah.
Because of like you're gonna find somebody you can relate to.
Oh, yeah.
and it's got like little pockets of uniqueness as well that
Oh,
you
yeah.
can sort of let flourish. So it's pretty cool.
Definitely. I mean, it definitely is a cool little spot to be in.
Oh,
And now I'm partial to the lake area. I mean, I
Oh,
do
gosh,
love it
yeah.
up there just because it's,
Yeah.
you know,
Serene.
it's very similar to home, as I've mentioned a lot. Yeah, I mean, it is quiet, but you're like 25 minutes from downtown.
Yeah, that's so
And I mean,
cool.
you know, we had lunch, brunch this morning at Burton's, which is one of our favorites.
That was amazing.
Not only because our kid can who has severe food allergies, you know, he can order pretty much anything he wants, and
That's so nice.
which is amazing. But I mean, you know, we just love all of it. I mean, I mean, I know why you
Go
love
right
it, but
ahead.
tell me why you love being where we're at now.
I just the convenience of everything. I
Yeah.
mean, I just like grocery stores. I mean, you know, I lost my train of thought.
Oh, you're fine. I mean, but you like the lake.
Oh yeah, I like the lake.
You
I like
love
the,
downtown Davidson.
Yeah, I just like the area. I mean,
Yeah.
it's peaceful. It's quiet. It's just I love it.
And we have to paint that picture again for folks who haven't experienced country living like us. I mean, we came from 20 acres.
Farm life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had every kind of animal you could imagine. That's probably why your
That's
boys
why
kind
my
of
boys
loved it.
loved it.
Yeah.
They're like, let's go
Yeah. They
love
ride the
the farm
pony.
life.
Let's
Yeah.
go play with the sheep.
Yeah.
And,
From cattle and the
Pigs.
2-acre pond and, you know,
Yeah.
paddle boating on the pond or whatnot.
Oh,
and
yeah.
now we're in a
Fishing.
townhome, which to me is amazing.
Oh, we love it. I mean,
So-
our family is shocked that we settled for a townhome, but I love the townhome.
Yeah.
We're kind of surprised too. not
Yeah.
gonna lie.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Seriously?
you seem to flourish there.
Oh,
up in
yeah.
the
Oh, I
mountains,
love
but
it.
you certainly can tell you're loving it down here as well, which
Oh,
is
yeah.
great. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it sounds like it turned out as best it possibly could.
Oh,
But
Lord.
it was
Yeah.
really cool. You know, they
Yeah.
like Lisa said, they loved going up there, playing on the farm,
Oh,
going
yeah.
around. You know, trying to.
Good memories. Lots
Yeah.
of good memories
Oh,
on the
yeah.
farm.
Oh,
gosh,
yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
sweet.
So-
Fires. And when we say
Yes.
fires, we're not talking like the little
Oh, those
solo
big
fire
fires,
yeah.
canister. We're talking like the
Fire.
big, huge bonfires, you know.
Bonfire,
Yeah.
With the axe throwing
marshmallows,
thing
yeah.
out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
I think, was it your parents that made that?
My
It was
dad.
her,
Your dad.
Kristy's dad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, you're like, this is life. And I'm like, oh gosh, they're throwing axes and there's fire. And
Yeah.
And BB
BB
guns.
they were like,
guns.
they were living their best life. That's right. You guys bought Henry his BB gun.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
I
That one year.
forgot. Yeah.
Oh, he was like, how did he convince her to let me get a BB gun?
I know.
And you guys got one of our boys, a kayak.
Oh,
Or maybe it was for
yeah.
both the
Yeah,
boys.
yeah,
I can't
was.
Yeah,
remember.
I think,
Yeah.
was that Christmas one
It
year?
was
It
Christmas?
was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, people really, you know, you can say something all day long.
Yeah.
Like how your work is what it is and this is why you love it. But I think people hearing it and seeing it for those who watch as well. I mean, we met through a relationship I had with the hospital.
That's right.
Right.
Went and started looking at houses.
Right.
And
I
now,
wasn't
I
with
mean, to like, huh?
I wasn't with you when you.
No,
we all-
you
Not
weren't
the
with
first
me,
time,
no.
but I
Okay.
do remember you brought the boys and Kristy with you at one of the houses that we looked at.
As
And the
we were
boys
going
met
back out of town,
right when we
that's
were getting
right.
ready to leave.
Yep.
And then we hung out probably the next time we came to look at houses, or I came to look at houses. And I mean, it was like meeting a sister from
Yep,
another mister.
that's
I
right.
was
Oh,
like,
that's
oh my
right.
gosh,
Yeah.
she's cut from my cloth.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She's
And we
my
would just,
girl.
yeah, we just sit out on the porch and just
Yeah.
talk while the boys acted
We
like
watched
wild
them play.
Indians, and
yeah.
they
in
were
the
just,
creek and in the pond. And
Yeah, it
whatever they
was-
could find to get into.
But like, I mean, we could just sit and hang and chat, and it was like we had known each other forever. It was
Oh, yeah.
awesome,
Yeah.
instantaneous.
So now we'll be
They're
on
so
the
nice.
lake doing the
Now
same.
we'll
Yes,
be on
we
the
will.
lake.
Yep.
Yes.
Or
Just
the
a change of
beach with
scenery.
you
Or at the
guys.
beach.
Yes.
Hey,
I
come
mean,
on.
we were just
Yeah.
talking about when we were headed down to Southport. And
Yes.
I don't know if you heard that at brunch, but
No.
I told Josh we're going to be down in Southport here
Oh,
sometime
when?
soon. So,
Oh, I love
well, we haven't set
Southport.
the date.
Okay.
So, I mean, but he's saying maybe end of July next year.
Yeah,
Or-
we have a year to do
Yeah,
it. So
we have
can
a year
figure
to
out
go.
time.
I mean,
Okay.
it's
cool.
just a little trip that we ended up with. So,
Yeah.
and
oh gosh, I love
some friends of
Southport.
ours had a house, and
Nice.
they actually donated it in a little charity thing for Oak Hill Academy.
Oh, nice.
So I was like, hey, Josh and Lisa live right down the road. Let's
Yeah.
get that and helping Oak Hill as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's, we're flexible on the time we can go.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
it'd be
such
fun.
a cute town. Have you been there
Oh,
before?
yeah, I've
Okay.
been, but
I've
it's
not.
always been just for work. It's never been
okay.
for a stay. I mean, when we've always been in your area, we've stayed at Wrightsville Beach,
Right.
which that's where Kristy and I
Right.
got married. So, I
That's
mean,
right.
obviously, we're kind of partial to
Partial
the
to that one,
area.
sure.
And then you guys live in there, and another friend of ours, Rick Stoker, and his wife, Leanna Stoker, live there, who
Mm-hmm.
you've met.
Yes.
And he's a great guy. He's the real deal when it comes to what I call Christian ministry. I mean, the name of his ministry is First Fruits Ministries, and it's kind of homeless, sex trafficking victims, drug addicts, and feeding people. And love him, super good guy. He married Kristy and I, and he's been with us through the ups and the downs and the ups
That's
and the
right.
downs. So
You can tell he's the real deal. He's
Oh,
a good
yeah.
man.
Good guy.
Yeah, and you guys have been through some of those ups and downs with us too.
Sure.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
but
I mean,
that's what
that's
life
what friends,
is.
That's what friends are for.
Oh,
Yep,
yeah.
That's exactly right.
But
So,
for the folks that are watching, and I mentioned this, I do want to grab the boys
all righty.
just so
I'll see.
everybody can see them, and we'll just have them pile in here on the couch with
All
us real
right.
You
quick.
can all squeeze in.
I know, I was
here.
gonna
And,
say,
and
it's
if
gonna
they
be like,
want to say a word or two, and
Okay.
just kind of whatnot. And I don't know which direction they'll go. I don't know if our kids come here, your kids go.
yeah, who knows?
But
We'll
We'll see where they
I'm
end
gonna
up.
grab them real quick and have them come in. So if you're watching, just give us a second. Y'all chat it up, and I'll grab them real quick, and I'll
Okay.
be right back.
I wonder who's going to be the most chatty of the
I know.
boys.
I'm curious.
Super curious.
What's
Let
your
'em
prediction,
introduce
Josh?
themselves,
Who do you
Who's gonna
think's
be the
gonna
most
chat
chatty?
most?
Y'all just pile in here on the couch.
Come snuggle up.
You can get near a mic.
Come on.
Just
Yep.
anywhere you see fit. But make room for you.
Yeah.
Come on there, big fella. Oh, Lordy. Somewhere
Right
in the
there
middle.
in the You can sit
you
on
wanna
my lap, Charlie, if you want to.
There we
So
go.
what do we need to fix this?
It is tight. James's shoulders squishy.
So if you do speak, just kind of like lean into the microphone a little bit, and Robbie, you give instructions. So I'm back, and I got all the boys with me, and the boys keep getting larger. And
Couches got real small.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's been like 4 years.
and just remember, if you speak, get close to the microphone there, Charlie.
It's been like 4 years.
Yeah,
So y'all been out in the hall, or?
No, since we've.
Well, it's only been like.
get at the microphone there, Lisa.
It's been
You
like-
and Charlie,
it
get
hasn't
at the
been like
microphone.
A year. It's been like a long time.
It feels like a long time.
It has been a long time. Yeah. Well, Charlie, I have to pick on you first because you're sporting that Charlotte gear. Tell us what you did last night. Get up there close to the microphone and tell us what you did last night.
Who played last night? Who played against Charlotte?
Miami against Charlotte.
Who did we see?
Messi. I saw him leaving his hotel.
Oh,
I got
yeah?
like 5 feet away from him.
Yeah, Messi.
Yeah.
But we won, right? Yeah, Charlotte took them down.
Yeah, I guess Messi just isn't good enough to go against Charlotte FC defenders.
Hey, I love that. Messi, you hear that? You ain't good enough to take down Charlotte.
Maybe like
Controversial.
Kalina was a force.
if you're a Miami fan, then sorry, but it's just how it goes.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. So as I was saying, these boys keep getting larger. Obviously, look at mine. I've got Grayson here at the end. He's 18. I've got Caleb here. He's 14. Great dudes. And then over here, I've got Henry, James, and Charlie. So Charlie, we've heard from you. We've been buds since you could barely walk. So Henry, tell us something, and then James, you all tell us something.
I don't know what to say.
Yeah. How old
Better
are
when
you?
Someone
Yeah.
asks me something.
How old
not
are you?
just
15.
someone
How old
15?
what are you interested in? Things like that.
What is
lot
your
of
first
stuff.
memory of JJ?
Oh, yeah, that'd be a good one.
Oh yeah.
What do
I
you
don't
remember
know.
about the mountains going up there? First memory. Yeah, we talked a little bit about when we first met JJ. Do you remember anything in particular?
I remember when we were looking at that one house with like the super high deck above like the valley or whatever. I was like, I wonder what would happen if you fell down, which was a dumb question. You were just like, you gonna die.
Yeah. You gonna die.
We still quote that.
Yeah.
says that all the time.
Yeah.
You lost your bracelet. Oh yeah, I think we were sticking to the woods, and my that little friendship bracelet and it flew off.
Yeah. Yep.
You guys were lucky when you live in the mountains because you got snow. We barely ever get snow here.
All right. Sit up here a little closer
well,
to the mic.
no, where we live, we don't live in.
Yeah. Yeah, in Wilmington.
Lucky, I'm not a fan of snow. I don't like it.
I do not miss the snow either. No.
I mean,
Warm
you
weather
guys
for
had
me.
it like every year, so
That's true.
it's different for us.
Yeah.
True.
Well, James, I know you're the quiet one, but you're also the tallest.
Is my voice
So lean in there and tell us,
How old you are? And
yeah, what you enjoy, because you're the soccer guy, right? So tell us a little bit about it.
I'm 13. I don't know what to say, and I have to get closer.
What's your first memory of JJ and the Johnsons
Uh,
and the boys? What's your favorite thing that you used to do on the farm?
All right. Caleb,
Yeah.
what you want to say other than
Well, I'm 14. My name's obviously Caleb, and I play football, and yeah, that's a lot about me.
and you play for Southlake, right?
Yep.
I
Yeah.
wish that my mom would let me play tackle football.
Well, one day that may happen.
we didn't let him until he was
This year, and he's a freshman.
9th grade. Yep.
Yeah, he's a freshman at Davidson Day and plays
first
with
year.
Southlake, so he's loving that. But anyhow, for the viewers, I wanted y'all just to kind of see our families. And again, like I say, I think, Charlie, you were 4 when we met. And one of my memories I have of you in particular, I kind of, and I have to give Ric Flair a shout out here because he's a Charlotte guy too, but y'all had the house down on the river, right? And Charlie was running around the house, you know, boys, no shirts, shorts, barefooted. And Charlie comes into the living room, and we're all hanging out, and I go, slap to the chest, you know, like Macho Man Randy Savage used to do. But, and Charlie went to a new level. And I was like, oh my gosh, I messed up. Do you remember that, Charlie?
What? Wait.
When you
what?
were little.
You don't
What?
remember?
I don't understand anything that. Why are you moving so close to me? I don't understand anything that you talk. Wait, so
It's probably a good
no. Okay,
thing.
Yeah.
what are you talking about? Slap to the.
I did a
He was
wrestling
trying to
move.
wrestle you. Do you
Yeah.
remember that or no?
Did I like cry or something?
No, you just got you. I don't think you were expecting it, and it startled
Yeah.
you tremendously, and you kind of ran away. And I looked at Lisa and Josh, and I was like, "Oh no, I messed up."
So you gotta say that in front of like hundreds of people.
Yeah,
If people watch this.
but anyhow, Grayson, you got anything you want to throw in there?
Sure. So my first memory of the Dobstaffs was Dad was like, "Hey, I've got some clients. I think you're gonna like them. Let's go with me to show this house." And so we load up to see this house. It's on the side of a mountain. So right off, it's we get out there and it's like we're not interested in going inside and seeing the house, so we kind of explore the outside. And there was this lizard. And we chased it. We chased it the entire time, and we tried to catch it. We got the tail. That's as far as we got. But we went and we were lifting up rocks like that the entire time.
Just
instantaneously.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ultimate way to bond.
That's right.
Well, and another thing that Grayson didn't mention, he's still thinking he may go into healthcare. And,
That's right, yeah.
I know Josh, you and him had talked about that a little bit, and he also did, and Grayson, correct me on this, was it like an internship thing at the hospital or?
Yeah. So what it was an internship where I was there. I was helping doing stuff such as I was taking samples. I was helping patients get to and from. I actually planned Ash Memorial's their charity event for Halloween. So I've chose the theme murder mystery, and so we had sections of the hospital were rooms where different murders happened. And so it's you had to go around the hospital, and it was just something fun to plan out, and I worked with a lot of cool people to do that. So
yeah,
that
we
was
got a chance to, Grayson
Yeah.
came in, followed me around, shadowed for, I don't know, what was it, a week or so?
Yeah, a
Yeah.
week or so.
Kind of saw a little bit of what I did, but the idea was sort of get a little exposure to all aspects of, at least hospital medicine. So he hung out with radiologists who read all like X-rays and CAT scans, MRIs, things like that, and just how to just get a little bit exposure to everything, which is really cool. I think everybody should, if you have any minute bit of interest in that, you should check it out, because that's the best way to really find if it's the right fit for you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this guy right here, I went and shadowed with him for a week, and I got to do a bunch of really cool stuff. And so my school offered the opportunity to get your EMT license, and so I decided to do that, and it was amazing. I really enjoyed it, and this guy right here got me into that. It was the first
Good
chance I
fit.
got to actually interact with people and kind of see what it was truly like.
Yeah.
It's natural.
Yep.
And who knew that was going to happen?
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
That's awesome.
All from
and
chasing a lizard.
yeah,
Yeah, right.
Started with a lizard.
yep. But well, it's been a pleasure having Josh, Lisa, you guys come on for telling our stories. And boys, I mean, I wish that we had more time this weekend to hang out and stuff, but we're definitely going to be seeing you sooner than later again, I hope.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
I would much rather not go to school. I'd just
You want to just hang here?
You want to just hang right here?
go to all the Charlotte FC games
Yeah,
Yeah,
go to those
sounds like a
FC
plan.
games. Yeah.
with tickets.
come
We
with
can
us next
get
time.
food and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We'll
Check
do
out some
that.
Panthers too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yep.
well,
Watch them lose.
no.
Yeah.
We can go to Chicago and see the Bears play.
Yeah.
Somebody.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's
Hopefully
someone
they come here.
bad, but
Well, what I can say too, ending on a positive note, we have two beautiful women here in the midst of a bunch of ugly dudes, but five great children and two fairly decent men. I do think, Josh, I will brag on us a little bit, even though we got the three. All right. But thanks again for listening to Telling Our Stories today. If you did like what you heard, feel free to subscribe, share, listen, whatever. You guys know what to do. I think we're on all the platforms. I'm not sure what all those are, but tune in next time. I mean, we are as chill as they come, and you're going to meet more clients, more folks I do business with, just like the Dobstaffs, except those folks do not get my children if my wife and I decide to peace out. So that spot's taken. But anyhow, thanks for listening. Again, share away, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks.
yeah, goodbye.
Thanks for joining this episode of Telling Our Stories. We hope you enjoyed today's show and episode. Please feel free to share with somebody that you think may enjoy it. Also, like, subscribe, and share away. We've got more episodes coming in the future. Thanks again for joining us today.